What is going on, people? Welcome to On a Level Podcast, episode 15. We're actually getting the numbers right this time. Past couple episodes, I've been like, but we're here this time. Number 15. We're something different. Someone not from the UK scene, someone not from the US or even the Australian scene, but we got someone from the Belgian scene. Like Belgium. Look at this. What are you saying, Grizz?
Yeah, I'm good. What are you saying?
Yeah, not much, man. So, for probably gonna be most people listening, especially from my audience, let the people know who you are and what you're about, man.
Yo, people, I'm Grizmo. I'm from Belgium, as Chazza said, and I do, let's just say, rap in the UK sort of accent, or like I can't even say or tell to the people what I'm doing right now. It's just rapping, and my accent is on point. That's the only thing that I'm really about right now.
Okay, so what kind of music do you make?
I make different songs, Scott. I'm just gonna say grime. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think the base of your work has been grime.
Yeah.
You've tried a lot of other few things, and how long have you been like writing for? Like, how long have you been like writing stuff and putting ideas down?
That's I think 2 years ago, to be honest.
And
Because because 2 years ago I started to really get into like UK music and just grime and that, because I was watching other YouTubers, like people may know, like the Sidemen and all them people that are well known in the UK, and they all had their outro songs, and then there was one song that really got to me, and that was "That's Not Me" by Skepta and JME. So and then I really started to get into it because like I like the way it sounds, like like I can't even like explain it, but it really touched my heart, and I started to really get into it. And then like people know, when you get to know an artist, you start to go back in time to like know what they had done in the past, because you're there at that time but you didn't know what happened before. So you really start to like get a deep dive into that artist, and that's what I did. Then I started to listen to JME, Serious, all them old albums and EPs, and you can call it. And yeah, that's how I freestyles. And like, to be honest, 2 years before I didn't even know how to speak properly English.
Okay.
Like for real, I couldn't talk. I even have a video on YouTube, but I'm not gonna say that because that's the cringiest thing that I can never delete that off YouTube.
Right.
I don't know the password of that account, so fuck it, I'm not gonna say it. So that English, that was for me when I was 13, and I said in that video, I'm learning English now in school, and I'll try to do better. I'll try to talk better English, and I think like God heard that or something. I don't know. And now, fuck it.
And now you're here. So I mean, that's a lot of progression in 2 years. I mean, that's a big change, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, learning English, speaking English pretty fluently, and then also, you know, getting into UK culture in general. To be fair, I mean, as well as music, do you feel like you've taken on UK culture in any other way outside of music, like kind of because of the music, through the music? Like, has that fed into anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. I think dressing wise as well too.
Like fashion.
I think fashion. Like before I used to like wear like jeans and all that stuff. Now it's just like 24/7 tracksuits, and just not like us. I see it on the GOM dailies and on the link up TVs that all the people wear this and that, and like now, like you can see like they start to like I think progress into fashion, because like you see like tracksuits, but like now you see like Givenchy or Fila, or like they start wearing like more well-known brands, like the well-known rappers, like let's call it like that. And I think like they're switching up the styles, but yeah, for me, I'm keeping it on tracksuit.
I mean, I think styles and fashion trends progress over time, you know. Obviously, if you look back to what people were wearing 10 years ago, not that different, but you go 20 years ago, a bit more, and then the further and further you go back, obviously the more different it was. And so what we're wearing now in 20, 30 years time, we're gonna look at and be like, what the fuck were we doing? And that's the truth, you know, like that. We're gonna be an old generation, and our grandkids are gonna be looking at us in tracksuits and this, that, and the other, and thinking, what the fuck are they wearing? Like, you know. So I mean, that's just fashion. That's just how fashion works. So.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Like, what's Grandpa wearing a tracksuit? What's it all about? Like, nah, I can only see that.
I mean, when you think about it as well, it's like, what was you listening to as a kid? And as you said, it's gonna be like Skepta and JME. That's not me. Like, that's what I was listening to as a kid. That's proper real music, you know. And so it's gonna be interesting. It's just mad to think like that, you know, thinking back when we're older, whether that be even just in 10, 15 years time, or if it's, God, I hope, like 50 years time, you know, looking back at everything now and how little of that is going to be carried forward, you know. I imagine most of it's going to change. But obviously fashion, I'm 100% sure the fashion will change in that time.
Even
the
music
will
wise,
change
like,
in that time. So
if you listen to like UK music, or let's just call it grime, yeah. Okay, the people that, let's say like P Money and all them people, they still kept it like grime, but like there are artists that 10 years ago, that back in the time, yeah, they only did like that type of music, and then they started to like get more like interested in other styles of, like, they can still call it grime, because like we both can agree on that grime really became a lifestyle.
Yeah, I think it is more of a lifestyle than it is a genre of music.
Yeah, so like you can did you ever, like 10 years ago, did you ever expect, let's just say Skepta, could you ever expect Skepta to make an album like this, yeah, that it dropped now 10 years ago?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I think you could expect it, but I don't think you would expect it to be doing. I think he actually just got #2 in the in the charts.
That's
you know,
a big
with a fully grime album. I don't know what got #1. I'm assuming it would have been either Tyler the Creator or DJ Khaled's album. I don't know who else has dropped an album. Again, it's probably a US artist somewhere that I'm not aware of. But yeah, for him to be doing numbers like that and it being a massive thing, yeah, of course. You know, I don't think many people expect it. The only people that, like, it was happening 10, 15 years ago. Dizzy Rascal, Boy in the Corner, Kano, Made in the Manor.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Made in the Manor. Home Sweet Home. You know, so there were artists making grime mixtapes and albums and EPs and whatnot, but in terms of the numbers behind it and being able to make a living off of grime, yeah, I think that's where only a very, very select few really believed in that.
Yeah, because like the people that are now still doing it, and like they're real survivors, because there was times, yeah, that, let's just say 80% of people would have stopped, like not even to try and do it.
95, mate. 95% of people would have stopped.
95.
Yeah. Easily. But there would have been plenty of people that stopped, and there's plenty of people that did stop. But the ones who stuck for it and prevailed, the Wileys, the Jammers, the DWEs,
the Gigs. There were times.
Gigs, but a fantastic example of someone who persevered, and, you know, look at where he is now.
Yeah, because he deserves that respect, like 100%.
So when people are saying like, oh, well, I've dropped 4 tracks this year, why am I not popping, or why am I not growing? And it's just like, Gigs has been about for how long? DWE has been about how long? Like,
for
you know,
time.
and so, and even then, like someone like DWE, although he's massively respected and well known by the grand purists, he's still not a household name. Yeah, I know people that claim they love UK music. We'll just say UK music, but don't have a clue who DWE is.
Because if you go to a rave, yeah, or to whatever party or something, yeah, and you see DWE there and he's spitting, yeah, I guarantee you every 30 seconds he's getting a reload. For sure.
It's shut down.
Shut down.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And so, you know, although he is absolutely incredible, legendary in terms of UK grime, it still doesn't change the fact of he's not selling #1 albums, you know, and he's not a household name, but if he's happy doing what he's doing, at the end of the day, he's respected by a smaller niche of people, but that smaller crowd of people that do know him respect him to the highest, and I think that's something that artists should definitely strive towards, unless you are striving to be the biggest artist in a scene or the world. Unless that's your goal, in that case, you're gonna need to be versatile.
Yeah,
You know, you're gonna have to try different things and try to master, you know, being well-rounded. But then you have someone who's more of a specialist, and you know they're trying to be the best in that one individual lane.
yeah, because everyone knows if he's saying or everyone's everyone knows.
Yeah, of course, it's shut down from there. You know, and so it's interesting to see the state of of drill right now, because it reminds me of the earlier stages of grime. It's like they're now starting to, you know, hit the charts and do numbers and things like that, and it's interesting to see how drill is doing what grime did. But in a sense, in some ways, I have to say it, they're kind of doing it a lot faster. Obviously, that's because of the internet. Straight up, when grime started, there wasn't. Well, there was the internet, but you know what I mean. It wasn't like you could drop your whole mixtape on SoundCloud and become an internet artist.
No, there was the MySpaces and even the like before, like when there was no internet, people were like outside in your face, like giving the mixtapes.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
And that was the example I was about to give in a place very close to me, Camden Town. When you leave Camden Town Underground Station, there was at least 2 or 3 people coming up to you saying, buy my mixtape. I remember a real funny story of when me and my bro Jake, we left the station. We was about what, like 13, maybe 14 at this time. This was before I was really into grime. I was aware of like Skeptas and people like that, but I didn't really listen to them fully. At that point, I was mainly into like drum and bass, dubstep, house, kind of like EDM, electronic music for the most part.
Yeah.
And that was my days of listening to that. So either way, we've left the station now, and your man's come up to us and he goes, "Oi, boys, what music do you listen to?" And I knew it was gonna be rap. I knew it was gonna be grime. I knew it was gonna be something like that. And I said drum and bass, and he goes, "Oh, big man, I've got a drum and bass track for you." He was lively as anything, you know. And he went, "This is my mixtape, and he's put the CD in my hands, right? So now he's put that in my hand, and I'm like, "Oh, what's your name?" Like, and he's like, "This is my name." I can't remember it. He's like, "This is my name. This is what I go by. Follow me on Twitter." And then I'm like, "Yeah, safe." And he's like, "No, £5." I'm like, "What do you mean £5? Big man, you put the mixtape in my hand. I didn't ask for it." And he's like, "No, £5." And he's like, "I'll take that back then. I'll take that back. Safe." And he's just like, "Yeah, see you later." And it was just like, you know, people are really trying to hustle to try and get their mixtape to anyone and everyone, man.
Yeah, and that's respect, to be honest. Like, I'm happy that, of course, we can do it now as well, but now we got like the internet for real, so it's really easily or really difficult to expand your thing. It's just like it needs to be combined with like luck or just the right person to like share it, and that, like, because if you was trying to promote your thing, it was around your area, only that, and they just needed to like talk, and if they didn't talk, like, you didn't have anything, like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, back in the day, you would know an artist for their music or their one song that was on like a Risky Roads DVD or something.
Yeah.
But until it was those DVDs, until it was a live event, you wouldn't recognize the face. You know, artists were absolutely loved in their area, but no one knew what they looked like. Now it's, you know, everything's on face value. You know, everything's on Instagram and Snapchats and YouTube, and you know, there's so many platforms now for artists to be seen that there's no excuses for not having visuals up. You know, there's no excuse to not be known unless that's your thing. Unless, you know, you go by with a mask or you have an anti-alias. You know, unless that's your image, there's no excuse to not be seen.
Yeah, because like the artists now that are well known, like let's say the 6-7s and the Hunchos and the wait, Unknown T, does he has a mask on?
He may have used to, but not anymore.
Yeah, and like them people are now, like, let's just say, well known in the UK right now, and they still like can keep it like just like private.
It's part of their image, especially someone like LD from 6-7. You know, it's a massive part of his image. I think if he ever took the mask off, I think I'd be upset. You know, I think that's just, we're so accustomed to that now that's just what we know him as. Same as who is it? Cass is Dead. Another one. That mask is so iconic that I don't want to see him without it, to be honest. I want him to keep it. You know, so I think it definitely becomes part of an artist's image. I think it becomes part of their brand as well.
Yeah, just like you can even go bigger, like Marshmello and Daft Punk and all
Dead
them.
Mouse, you know, there's
Yeah,
plenty.
Dead
It's
Mouse.
not the only ones. Again, it's a marketing tool in some ways. It's a massive marketing tool.
Because people like there are always people who like really want to know, because like you can always look at like interviews and they really start to like ask like what's behind the mask, behind the mask. They really want to know what's behind the mask, but it's
Hmm.
just a face, just like someone else. Do you know what I mean? So it's not really that special, but it's like the mystery that keeps people on their toes, I think.
Yep. No, definitely. I think it plays a massive part into it. But going back to what you were saying before about like you know, putting out music in an internet age and whatnot now, how it's easy to put it on SoundCloud, on YouTube. It's becoming increasingly easier to get it on platforms such as Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, iTunes, etc., etc. You know, it was interesting. I had a debate recently with someone about nowadays it's too easy to get your music out there, and it was interesting because I agree and I disagree. I agree it's easier to put your music out, but because it's so easy to put your music out, I feel like we're now oversaturated with people pretending to be bigger than what they are.
Yeah.
For example, they get 1,000 views on a video and now they think they're popping, or
Mm.
whatever their most viewed song is now known as their best song. And it's like, yeah, for the most part, I guess that is a good correlation. You know, a song that has more views typically, you know, should be one of your better songs, if not your best one. But I also feel like now people just focus on numbers to the point where we're now judging artists and judging MCs
I
based on the
use
numbers that they have and the
the.
views and the likes that they have, as opposed to the quality of their music.
I hear that.
I know people that are hitting 5 digits, even pushing 6 digits on their music, and I really don't rate them. And to a certain extent, I don't understand how they got so big. But then you have someone who's struggling to reach 4 digits, you know, they're doing hundreds of views, but not really touching any thousands, and they are absolutely sick. And so I
Yes,
feel like
like
now
yeah.
the hustle's different. I feel like the hustle now involves people to be better at marketing in
Mm.
terms of strategically advertising your stuff. You know, I feel like there's a lot more to becoming bigger. I feel like before it was more of one lane, you know. You've got to hustle your mixtape on road, you know, MySpace, whatever it would be, whatever your strategy was to get your music out there, that's what it was. But I feel
Yeah.
like it was more of a simple time in some ways, and this is where I kind of agree with the person. You know, it was more difficult back in the day, you know, in terms of you had to do a lot more and you couldn't push it out to as many numbers as quickly. You know,
Yeah.
if you
It's,
put a tweet out, it has an impression of how many thousands of people. You know, you can get that tweet to anyone in the world if you wanted to. You
mm,
can't put your mixtape in anybody's hand in the world. You
no,
know?
that's true. It's just like like a good example for like artists that probably deserve or not deserve the views or whatever it's about. But it's like Jammer, to be honest, because I think he's a really important piece of the group of BBK and like and the whole scene, and like he's been out there for a long time. Like he's made Lord of the Mics one of the probably, I'm not gonna say biggest, but one of the like fucking in the ground like certified things that happen in the
Oh, it's a
grime scene.
massive pillar of the
Yeah,
grime scene. Yeah.
and he like, I'm not saying he did it singly, but he's like started doing it like from his own pocket money. And I've seen all the interviews, and he said like, "Oh, I put all my money in that." And even like you saw the interview with where was that DJ Argue or what is that? And he like really got like, I'm gonna say pissed off, because like he said like, "Oh, why did you ask money and why did you this like?" And he said like, "Yo, how do you think that I'm gonna do the next Lord of the Mics? I'm not gonna like have pocket money infinity like in my pocket, you know what I mean?" And he really like he deserves more attention. Of course, he gets like 100,000, and if we talk about views, but like he should get like songs like probably 1 million views to what I think personally, because like he is just like you said, like DWE and the other ones that just deserve it more.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. You know, in terms of if they wanted to hold an event and whatnot, it's a lot more difficult to get the funds and get the people to the events and etc. etc. Now it's a lot easier in that regard. You know, you wanted to set up a GoFundMe or a Patreon or a PayPal thing, easier to do. You wanted to market that to get people to your event, boom. Social media, you tag people in, you pay for Instagram and Facebook promotions, boom. You know, there's plenty of ways to get more people and more eyes on that event as well. And so yeah, it's definitely a different kind of hustle. But you know, if it wasn't for the people like the Jammers and, you know, like Rooney who run Risky Roads, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know,
now the show's on there, isn't it? The thing, the show that's now is his grandmother.
Oh yeah, Grime Gran or whatever.
Yeah, that's a mother.
Shout out to that, man. That's a quality show, man.
Yeah, love that. And like, is a new Risky Roads coming, or is he just like quitting it?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. Not too sure.
Because that would be sick if I ever came on there. No, I don't even care if it gets like 10 views. If I get on a Risky Roads, yeah, 30. That's one of my things that I want to check off my bucket list, to be honest.
That's something you're working towards. So what is your goal at the moment then? What's your short-term goal for now?
My short-term goal is to first of all get on a well-known radio. Just like round here, it's like Eminem or Q Music. They're my 2 certified radios around here in Belgium, and to get a main stage show. To be honest,
main stage show where? What numbers we talking? What kind of event we talking?
I'm gonna say Tomorrowland. Fuck it.
Okay, what? Explain that to the people who don't know.
Tomorrowland is a like big event that is in Belgium. And people from all over the world go to there, and it's just like, it's really good organized, and like people like I think I'm not even sure, but there came some grime artists. I think even Stormzy, if I'm not sure. I'm not even sure who came there, but there were like well-known like UK rappers and grime artists that came there and performed their thing.
Okay, so it's like a festival.
Yeah, it's like a festival.
Okay, so it's a festival thing. Is it one of them one-day things, or is it like the overnight weekend?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, so. 3 or 4 days. Okay. All right. So, and you want a main stage act?
Yeah.
And how long do you think you're away from achieving that, like in terms of your head, or do you not put numbers and time limits on things like that?
I think that I think with my music, yeah, when it starts to like get more well known, I think it's gonna like slowly reach it. I'm not about that one day thing. Do you know what I mean? Like the Gangnam Styles and the, do you know what I mean? Like it's not a one hit thing. I just want to like make bangers and bangers and bangers after one.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I think it's very, very important to have a big body of work behind you. I was talking to JMO about this on my last podcast that's actually going up the day of recording this. But we was talking about IAmChazza. Do you know who IAmChazza is?
Yeah, IAmChazza.
Yeah, Camdog. Shout out Camdog, man. But he's someone who's been doing grime and doing music for a good decade now. Like a good, strong decade. And I'll be real, I didn't find out about IAmChazza until he put out his Road Rage on JDZ Media, which was probably 2, maybe 3 years ago now. Let's say 3 years tops. So I've known about him since then. And, you know, once I found out about who he was, I heard him. I was like, right, let me listen to his stuff. And then I went back and backdated his catalogue of work. And it was good to see that he had a big catalogue of work going back. Same way that you checked out Skepta and JME and was like, right, let me go back and listen to a bunch of Skepta and JME now. And they had the body of work behind them to check out. I think it's very, very important that, I think it's better for an artist to be doing their thing for X amount of years or X amount of time and then pop, as opposed to putting out 2 songs and popping straight away.
Yeah.
The reason for that is when you pop and you get views, you get a bunch of eyes looking at you at once, which means that majority or half or a third of those people are gonna go back and want to listen to previous stuff as well and see if it compares to the song that just popped.
Yeah.
Now, if you've not got much behind you, you're gonna be seen. You could be seen as a one-hit wonder. Furthermore, people find out who you are. They're like, yeah, let me listen to more stuff of this guy or girl, and then they don't find much at all. And then that causes them they're less likely to stick around. Sometimes it's the opposite. It's someone who's like, who the fuck is this guy? This guy's shit. Why are they popping? Go back. If you don't have much there, they're going to be like, yeah, fuck this person. One hit wonder. All right. They just got lucky. As opposed to having a body of work behind you, having albums, EPs, mixtapes, singles, you know, seeing the artist that you've networked with. What? This person did a tune with this artist that I've been listening to and I didn't know. They go back and listen. And so I feel like it's very, very important to have that, because it's more likely that the people who do go and check you out are more likely to stick about. They're more likely to, you know, appreciate you and kind of get more of an idea for who you are as an artist and how you've progressed. The same way of the music I was first making 3-4 years ago, I'm not too happy with, but I feel like it's important, because then people can look back at it and they go, right, I can see how he's progressed since then. And so I feel like it's very important.
Yeah, I've had that with, I told you already, I've had that with Bugsy recently. Because of the whole Chip beef and the whole situation that happened. It got me into like I think not because of like I hate Chip or something, like it took me more to the Bugsy side, but I'm not like trying to be picking a side or something, but I wanted to really know what Bugsy was about, because okay, Chip is from London and like cool, but he like Bugsy was from Manchester, and like he's like one of the first, like he's not for nothing like called himself the king of the North, do you know what I mean? So I wanted to really know what he was about, and then I started to listen to, first of all, Be Inspired. That was his album that's his most recent work project that he dropped. And then I went to King of the North. That's his last EP that he made, and it really like started to get me interested, because like this guy came from like he's also been there since Risky Road episode 2. He also said that in interviews that he's been there from time, and that's what I mean. Like he had some body of work behind him, and like just like that.
Yeah, and then that was the reason why you probably stuck about, you know, because, well, you was able to go back and listen to a collective of his work. For me personally, Chip won that beef, but that's what's so great about what they did.
Yeah, he won that. I'm not saying that he didn't win or something, but it just like it took me more to his side, not because of his style that he did. Like he really
he intrigued you more though.
Yeah, he played like it was like he was playing with Chip. Do you know what I mean? Like his bars were like, "Oh, your Sonic hair" or something like. Like them bars, like they're really like playful. And like Chip,
I felt like Chip had a very playful tone as well. But the reason why I love that beef so much is because, one, it had people who thought Grime was dead or dying. It had people then paying attention to for the most part, Grime clash. Okay.
Yeah.
Second off, it is probably a massive point in Chip's career, because Chip wasn't dying. I wouldn't necessarily say he was dying, but he wasn't as big as he once was. And that definitely made people respect Chip again and realize that his pen is fucking top quality. And that's not to say that he wouldn't be doing what he is now, but he wouldn't be doing what he is now. No, you know, it definitely, I wouldn't say revived his career, because a lot of people said that, but it definitely gave him the boost that he needed again. As for Bugsy, I think it just put more eyes on him. I feel like he was the definition of underrated, you know, and I feel like that there's no losers in that beef ultimately, because it both helped their careers massively. And the fact that they're able to be cool now and smile again, maybe not be the best of friends, but be able to be cool with each other now, I think is a massive thing of showing that when you clash, especially in music, do it out of sport and not out of this is for the streets, I'm doing it on road, and then a madness happened. Because at the end of the day, let's say a madness did happen and we lost one of their lives, if not both. We'd be missing out on two massive, massive artists in the UK, and very, very important and influential ones, may I add. You know, Chip causes a lot of discussion and a lot of debate, and kind of has controversy that I feel like the UK needs. I feel like Bugsy represents the north of England massively. You know, he's one of the few artists that made the northern accent seem cool. Because, you know, but before, people were still becoming accustomed to the London accent. People were still becoming accustomed to just hearing a UK accent on rap music in general, let alone a northern accent or a Midlands accent. You know, people spitting from Leicester, Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool. You know, it was like, I'm really unsure. So people were unsure about the London accent, let alone, you know, the people further north of here.
Yeah,
So
I
I
hear
feel
that.
like it's important for Bugsy to be about, because yeah, he's one of the few people that made the northern accent seem cool. And without people like him, you maybe, again, not saying we wouldn't have these artists, but maybe they wouldn't be as big or as important. People like Lady Leisha,
Yeah,
people like H, who's currently got a massive following behind him right now, you know.
yeah, I hear
And
that.
so there's plenty of artists that definitely have benefited off of Bugsy Malone. Vice versa, obviously, they play into, but you know, people helping out each other in the scene, and I feel like that's a very important thing.
Yeah, because like he is like one that really made people like sure, made people know that you can do it, even though you're from this part, or even if you're from this part, or even if you're from another country, like everyone can do it. Do you know what I mean? So people need to really like understand that if you're from even, I'm gonna say, Madagascar or some weird country, like you can do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people need to really, now I can say 100 times, but people need to really marinate like the thing that you can do it, whatever you want. Like look at me right now. Like who in the world who would expect for a person from Belgium, yeah, doing the, let's just say, grime, yeah, doing it in such an accent and being actually decent. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, of course, there are people that have done it before, but maybe they didn't like stuck around, or maybe they didn't want to do it anymore because people didn't like understand it, or because that's what I'm having right now. Like, I'm having punchlines, yeah, that like for sure there will be people get gassed in the UK, but it's just like round here they just like come up to me and say, "What does this mean?" Or just like, and I was like, "Yeah, this and this and that." Oh, yeah, okay, but it's just not the same. So like from that point, people would have already like stop and just say, oh, it's not worth it. But it's worth it, because English is like a language that almost everyone can speak. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I did it in the English, because I can do it, and I can actually like try to progress in that route.
Yeah, I hear you massively. I feel like it would also be beneficial for you to do some work in what do you speak? Apologies for being so ignorant. Do you speak Belgian? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's your language. So yeah, rapping in Belgian. Like I feel like that would be also a big thing for you to do, and to maybe mix the two. Of course, there's hitting the English audience, and if that's what you want to do, if you feel like your music sounds better in English, I say do it 100%. But don't just do it in English because there's more people that are gonna view it.
No,
If
no,
you
no.
want to do,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's because first of all, music is like passion for sure, number one. But like, I really started to get in this thing, yeah, and that's the only thing that I want to do it, because, like, to be honest, when I did music first, like this thing, like the UK thing, I was like before, and like, yeah, fuck Belgian music, fuck this, like they're shit, man. They don't know nothing. Like, do you know, I was like that. That was in my mind, and then like now becoming let's just say artist, yeah, is I really started to understand that, oh, they're doing their thing as well, and I need to respect that. Maybe not you as a person, but you making music, I need to like respect that, because I'm an artist as well. Do you know what I mean? So because even though like they are making fucking music that counts for nothing, or it just makes no sense, they're still doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because there are some people like, I'm like, let's just like go a different route a little bit. I'm doing a show in my city in 3 weeks, and of course that's like nerve wracking, and it's my first show. And but like, how many people are there out of 10 that are really gonna be out there and do that? Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to really like understand that all these things like you need to go through if you really want to do this thing. So I'm just happy that I can do my own accent and all that, and I'm happy that this thing like came through, because before music there was just like not really anything, to be honest.
Okay.
And yeah.
So I mean, so you found what you want to do at the end of the day. You've tried some different things. You know, you found what you feel like you can get your put your how do I explain this now? I'm having a mind blank. Basically, express yourself through music. You know, some people want to express themselves through whatever it is, you know, whatever hobbies they have, but, you know, this is what you want to do. And so it's obviously going to be really difficult for you, but it's and it's going to be a monumental task if you really want to make this something that you can monetize, in terms of making this something that you can do full time, something that you can do for a living, you know. And that's going to be a long way off. Let's be real, it's going to be a long way off, but if you're willing to stick about, you can single-handedly say that you are a pioneer of this. You could arguably say that you created the Belgian Grime scene, or played a massive part in it at the very least. That's the least that you could be able to say. And so if you're in it for that reason alone, yeah, you're going to have to be patient, and you're going to have to work hard. You know, short term, bust your ass off. You know, like that. Like, you're going to have to really fucking work. But have long-term patience, and I feel like if you are able to nail that, I feel like, well, you never know. I feel like the times to do it, it is now. Like, I don't think that we're gonna have it as, I feel like, as much as people say it's easy now, or it's difficult now, I feel like in the future it's gonna be really difficult, for the simple fact of, I feel like there's gonna be a day where there's too much internet. There's too much. Like, you think it's oversaturated now? Imagine all of the people our age now that in 20 years' time have kids that want to do the same. We're not going to be the parents that are going to be putting it down. Most people our age are going to be encouraging their kids to do shit like this in the future. Meaning that there's going to be a massive oversaturation of whatever. And maybe in the future, the technology is better, or the system works, or the algorithms are better for everyone to have a better chance. But we don't know that. But what we do know now is that it is possible to really start something big from your bedroom, from your phone, from your laptop, your PC. We know you're able to play a massive part in something worldwide from the devices that we have. I'm a prime example of that. I'm slowly building my way into the Australian rap and grime scene from the UK, from literally the other side of the world. And so if that isn't an example of it's possible to do anything worldwide at this time and age, I don't know what is. And so you trying to build something, yeah, it's a massive task, but it is possible. And we don't know how possible it is going to be to do things like that in the future. Maybe it will be easier, but we don't know. And I think because of that, knowing that it is possible now, I think people need to just fucking double down, triple down on any opportunity they have to build something, if that's what they really want to do.
Yeah, because that's what I did in Paris as well. I went like 3 days in Paris, and every day that I saw a street artist, or just they were dancing, and I took my chance and just said, like, put a tune and I'll rap on it. Like, I really wanted to, like, every chance that I get, yeah, even around here, if I see just people like listening to some music, and I'll tell them, what do you listen to? And then I'll tell them, yeah, I do this and that, and do you like that? Do you like that? And just like you said, I'm doing it on the socials, but I'm doing it like the old school way as well. I'm trying to push everything that can promote my music the next day.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, you can easily put in like 2 hours of work on the street performing just to get one person to listen. But, you know, that person could be a social media influencer. That person could be another artist themselves. That person could be just someone who has a big following, you know, and they shout you out. Or maybe they never say anything at the time. Maybe in 5 years' time, they turn around and say, oh my God, I remember that guy when he was performing, da-da-da. And it plays into part of your story. It plays into almost your legacy. And so I think people get this really twisted, you know. People are afraid of, oh, well, is this worth my time, and is this worth my money? And it's like, that shouldn't be it, because if you're afraid to take chances, well, then you're taking less. Let's say in the space of a week, you're afraid to do this, that, and the other, you're unsure, but you're cautious to do whatever it may be, you may only take 2 of those opportunities. All right, fine. They could work out, but the chances are less likely. If you're a person that's taking let's say 20 opportunities you have in a week, whether it be something like this, like a podcast, whether it be collabing with an artist, whether it be putting something out on social media, performing in your area just randomly, yeah, all right, there's a chance that most of them may not pay off, but 20 opportunities over 2, look at the odds. You've literally increased your odds 10 times the amount. And so, more of them on average are likely to not be as influential. You might get absolutely nothing. The worst that will happen, you gain experience. You figure out what does and doesn't work. And so I don't see it as if something doesn't benefit you. I see some people trying something new on YouTube and it doesn't get many views. And they're like, oh, well, I'll never do that again. And it's like, but you've done it once. There's no consistency with it. And at the very least, you did it. You know that it doesn't work. But for the people sitting there going, I'm unsure, well, that ain't going to work either because you never did that in the first place.
But it's like, I'm just saying it right now from Belgium, but in the UK as well, there are artists that quit just from like not getting enough like views or like whatever they have in their mind to be recognized as popular, or do you know what I mean? Like there are artists that I know that have tried to do it in the UK as well. Like they tried it for like 1 or 2 songs and then just quit because like something came in the I don't even know, like they just had their mind like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then just quit it. And it's just like, I think it's just like, did you see the Underdog Psychosis video of Skepta? Yeah. And I recommend everyone that's watching this right now to go to that as well. If they are struggling with like, I don't know what to do, or I'm struggling to do this, I don't know what to do, like go to that video and really try to listen and understand what he's trying to say, because like every artist, let's just say 9 out of 10 artists that are right now popping, or they are well known, or they got like, let's just swap numbers, 100k followers, or they had to go through the 10 followers, 20 followers, asking people at the DM, can you follow me? Can you promote this? Can you, like, they all have to go through that stuff. So there is going to be struggle for like 100%. Like, and I think it's good that there's struggle, because then you got a good value of what you're doing right now and what you're about. Because if there's no struggle, how are you going to know that it's really important, that it is really important what you're doing right now? Or it is really like, it's important that you need to have a good value of that and need to understand that, okay, I can live off this, because there's, in life, there are people that have done the thing, like, let's just call it like the Steve Jobs, and they all started off their garage, and they didn't have much to lose. So them people are exceptions, but like the most of the people need to understand that, okay, cool, you're doing this thing, let's just call it as a hobby, because both of us are just doing this as a hobby, and you need to understand that maybe this can't work. Okay, you can go, but like at the end of the day, how are you gonna like evaluate, or how do you call it, progress from that? You need to have peace. Like, let's be real, you need to have peace to progress in a lot of things.
Oh, of course. Yeah, just keep going, because I agree 100% with what you're saying right now. Like,
and like the thing is, like, that's how people are looking down on people that are grinding illegal or legal, because okay, maybe people are doing the illegal stuff for I don't know, because they see on the internet, or they just like to be called a gangster. I don't even know what people are doing it for, but the people that are doing it for grinding, for really like feeding your household and feeding your family, and like, them people need to be respected as well. I do not condone any like illegal actions or killing or shotting or nothing, like, but if you were in that position, like, that's what people need to understand. If you can judge easily, people can judge easily, but if you go in that person's shoes, and then try to say what you said before, that's the main reason from YouTube or internet right now, they blatantly say stuff, because everyone is at negative comments if they do music or YouTube, for sure. And I've had that as well, like people try to say like, or you're doing this bad, or you're doing this, or you're doing this. Like, of course, okay, that's I can take that as critique, but you know when it's well meant or when it's like bad. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I can take like bad reactions and I can take that all of that, but like you need to understand that if you're doing this, you need to put yourself in that place and need to imagine, oh, what if I was from Belgium, or what if I was from the UK, and I'm just you as an example. Like, what if I was in UK now? I was like ripping the ore scene or something. Like, do you know what I mean? That, and then people maybe would think different, and it's just like everyone is trying to do their thing, yeah. And if you can share it or just do it a little, that's what you say. Like, social media's easy right now, and at the same time difficult. But if you can it's just 2 clicks on Instagram to share someone's post, so it's not really that difficult. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you really like it and you just want to like hear more, just share it. It's not that much of a thing to do, and you help the artist. You make maybe that share that you do makes the artist a better person, or it makes him smile for that day. Like, these are the little things that make people like really happy.
Oh, of course. Spreading that positivity, I think it's a massive thing. And if you can build a positive audience around you that, you kind of create that vibe and atmosphere that you're about hustle, you're about being creative, about being inspiring. Of course, that's going to feed into the people that follow you, and obviously that feeds back to you. If when you know that there's people following you that share the same morals and values as you, it motivates you to keep pushing on, spreading that same message. The reason I don't get mad at negative comments, right, is based on 2 things. One, context.
Yeah.
They might say, oh, you don't know nothing. They haven't watched all my content. They haven't listened to my podcasts. They haven't heard me. They don't follow me on Instagram where I explain the reason why I said such a thing. Or maybe I address the fact that I made a mistake. But I'm not going to be mad. I mean, to their knowledge, I'm in the wrong.
because you're lowering yourself to their level. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
here's the thing. Context. For example, in a recent 1-4 reaction, or was it? No, it was a Hooligan Hef's reaction. I said something about the Rolls Royce, or it was a Bentley when really it was a Rolls Royce, something like that, right? And I got the car brands mixed up. Now, I should know this, and I do know this, and I've obviously said it not for I've made a mistake. Cool. I addressed this on Instagram, and I just said, oh yeah, I made my mistake. Cool. I still have people, as of like just before we recorded this podcast, I think my most recent one from like 15 minutes before we started was, that's not a Rolls Royce, it's a Bentley, or whichever way round it was. I don't know. I'm getting confused at this point. All right. The reason I'm not mad at that comment is because, to their knowledge, I made the mistake and I'm still unaware of it.
Yeah,
I made the mistake. The reason I'm not going to get mad is because I know I've made the mistake. And at the end of the day, big man, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, man, it's a minor. I wouldn't even look at that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing, right? So let's take another example that's a little bit further. Someone saying, all of these pommy, which references people from the UK, all of these pommy cunts reacting to 1-4 just because it's trending. Okay, well, to your knowledge, big man, yeah, of course. There's plenty of UK reactors and whatnot reacting to 1-4 because they're popping right now in Australia. They're doing Australian drill. They're putting Australian drill on the map. And so, a lot of people are going to be hopping on that trend. That guy clearly, very clearly, hasn't seen any of my other content.
Because
they very clearly didn't read
majority
of the other comments, even on that video. They clearly didn't even just click on my channel. If they just clicked on my channel, I'm sure that comment would have been way different. If not even have been there. Okay?
Yeah.
So obviously, people are very quick to just say things based on the context and understanding and knowledge that they have. I'm not going to be mad at that. I don't expect everyone that views me to have seen every single second of content that I've put out ever. No, it's not. So the reason I often say the same things over and over again is because, well, that's more chance of people hearing it. I can't just say something once and expect people to remember that forever and ever. The internet are full of goldfish. 3-second memory. People forget things so quickly. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And so I'm never mad at that. The second reason I will never get mad at negative comments is because unless you are someone that is doing the same as me and doing it better, you have no leg to stand on to tell me shit. Unless
but
you
even
are...
if they're doing it better than you, or they know that they went through the same thing that you are going through right now, so they are 100%, or let's just say 99%, not going to judge what you're doing because they know. Do you know what I mean? So, and if they still judge that, then they're just dumb or ignorant, because like I know that like you said, like the negative comments and that, like sometimes you just like to be honest, I'm like that because I don't have like 100 comments right now or 200. I just get like 50 or 40 comments, like, and I just look at that and I just delete it. Not because I don't want people to know that I get negative comments, but just like I don't want to see it. Like with me, yeah, I don't get mad, yeah, but it's with like I can like really be having a good day, and like that one comment, yeah, can like damage it a lot.
Okay.
Just for me as like an artist doing this thing, like not because of like I think about it the whole day then.
Yeah, I get you.
I think that is shit, and yeah.
Yeah, I get you. And I used to be like that. I never used to delete comments, but I used to be like that in terms of, you know, reading a bad comment, and it really does get to me. I'm a person that if you try to hurt me, if you try to piss me off, if you try to say something negative, it affects me less. That's how I am personally. I don't expect everyone to be like that.
Yeah,
that's
because
how
my
I am
comments,
personally.
yeah,
If
because
you
my comments,
try to get under my
yeah.
skin, that is how you don't. It's like a medicine bottle. You know how you have to push down and then twist it for it to lift up and come off? That's kind of like how hate works with me. The more you try and pull that negativity from me, it doesn't work. In some ways, the things that would ever get to me is normally only ever from people I know personally, and it's when they're not trying to. Something that has a lot of truth that they don't mean to. I guess that's the only time I can really be hurt by a comment. 99 times out of 100, I'm not hurt because people are trying to, and or I don't know you well enough for you to say shit to me.
Yeah, and not even the comments about me right now, not even about the music. They're just like dumb shit. Like they saying like, I don't even know, like, what is that hair? What is that t-shirt? Like they're not even like listening to the music.
Yeah,
and
judging your face value.
They got a name for them, and everyone knows they are keyboard warriors, and they're gonna stay there if they keep doing this thing. But like it's good that they keep on there and they stay there. Let them be there, let them do their thing. If they are happy, like breaking someone's, like, I don't even know, like they can do
it's shitting on someone's image. At the end of the day,
yeah.
the only reason I understand why people delete comments is obviously if you have a load of negative comments, people may click on your content and be like, whoa, why is there such negativity? I'm not interested now. For example, if I click on a video and let's say it has 100 views, 20 likes and 35 dislikes, for example, just more dislikes or even an even ratio, I'm less likely to watch more of it because I'm going, you know, obviously I'm like, oh, it must not be that great. Then obviously they've got hate for a reason. There's going to be some people that may watch longer because of it. They want to see the reason why it's bad. But I can understand at face value, it may turn away some people. At the same time,
and even not like, I just deleted like 2 comments like from all the music that I made right now, because there are 2 comments that were about like, what was that, like something about my t-shirt, something about my hair. I don't even know what it's about. It's just like 2 comments, but like the rest of it all positive. And I don't know if it's just like they know me or just like they like it. But it's like if like for real, like if I keep doing this thing, I obviously will get like more recognized. Maybe not on a big base, but like
no, I can understand it. Honestly, my advice to you is focus on the positives. Yeah. So don't reply to negative comments. Don't highlight them in any way, shape, or form. It's why I don't reply to negative comments. I only reply to positive comments. Same with like Instagram DMs. If someone comes into my DMs, which is less so now, I must say, I very rarely get it now. But there was a stage on YouTube and on Instagram and when I was doing Discord where people would go out of their way to message me or comment, and I would reply to it. I would
I
feed into
remember.
that negativity.
I remember.
Yeah, the best
that
thing
one
to do,
artist.
honestly, and I'm speaking out of experience now because I would like to say I've turned that around. I don't get 50 dislikes on a video every time I post now, okay?
Yeah.
It's because I don't focus on the negative. I don't address it as much. I'm addressing it now. Yeah. I'm going to address it now because I feel like now is an okay time to address it. Focus on the positive. If someone says, this is sick, okay, cool, thumbs that one up. But if someone goes, this is the bar that I really like, and they quote your bar, or they really give you something constructive, highlight that. Share that on your Instagram. Put that out there and kind of just see that you will only catch my attention by positivity, basically.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why artists always post things on their stories of fans listening to their music, because they want to put it out there that people are listening to my music. People really enjoy it. And yeah, there's been times where I'll be scrolling through Instagram, I'll see gigs, for example, and I'm like, you know what, all of a sudden I want to listen to gigs.
Yeah.
It's marketing. It's showing other people listening to my music, and so it's kind of a subtle way of saying you should as well. Same way of, I'll plug it now as we're coming into the back end of this, our track together, for example. When you post it again, I put it up on the story, and someone was like, I didn't listen to it the first time that you promoted it, but then you promoted it a couple more times. I was like, all right, now I'm curious to hear it. They listened to it and they're like, actually, I really liked it. Boom. Yeah. There you go. So again, that's where the marketing side comes into it. But again, a massive marketing strategy for me personally is just feeding into positivity only. Yes, there are times where it's difficult to really ignore the negatives, especially if you get a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
I go through, I would like to say 99% of my YouTube comment section. I go through 99% of it. And the reason I do is because for the people chatting shit, it doesn't bother me personally. Now, I know, as you said, can bother you at times. There's other people that really are bothered by it, okay? And if that's the case, fine. The reason I'll watch negative comments, because most of them, if not all of them, don't have the context. So what they're saying has no value. If someone watches my content near enough every video for a year and they make a point that's very relevant, I'll then reply to that person. And I will either say, you know what, you're making a point, but or I may say, this is wrong because of such and such. But for the 99% of comments that come through and it's just, you're a cringe cunt, or ugly fuck, or shit music, or shit video, you know what I mean? Or you said this and this is incorrect. All right, big man, you don't have the context then, so that's fine. Yeah. I'm not gonna be mad at that.
The person with like the negative stuff that he's going through, he had to go through recently, is Rams from like Link Martin from Barking. Yeah, like he also said it, like there were times that he like, do you know what I mean? He really was like, I don't like this, or like even I like that fail at, what was that you told me the other day about where he wasn't on the stage and his auto-tune didn't work or something.
Yeah, I think it was the Capital Extra Summertime Ball or something like that. It was like a festival arena show, and yeah, the performance was bad. He even says that himself. He goes, yeah, that was really bad, and he had to go through a lot of adversity, and he still is. He's still getting shit on for that. I'll even say it myself, I enjoy Rams when he's in the studio. I don't like him when he performs live. He's going to have to turn that around. But if he wants to do music, and if he can block out as much of that negativity as possible, he's still got plenty of people that enjoy his shit. Yeah,
because everyone is supporting him right now. Because like all the well-known people, let's just say like the Stormzy's and the Maya Jamas and the fucking Amelia Dims, and I saw all the comments, like they were really like, keep it going, like, and that really helped him.
And again, positivity. Yeah. They're being positive because then they want people to do the same thing for theirs. Now, some people do it as playing the game. They're just playing the game. That's why they comment on every post that somebody makes. Yeah?
Yeah.
And they're just trying to always be irrelevant and have that positive, I'm a nice person at face value. All right, cool. If that's your game, you play that game. Then there's other sets of people that do it genuinely. Me personally, I don't comment on all of my friends' posts and go, "Oi, my guy, looking fresh, my G." I don't do that. Now, if you do that, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you do, that's fine. Just for me, when I see that happen, I see 90% of those people they may genuinely mean it, but they're playing the game. You know, they're doing it for social media. When I was with my girl, when I was with my ex, sorry, I didn't always do the, my girl this, no, because it's not a social media relationship.
Yeah, I think it's bare cringe, to be honest.
And that's fine. And again, if people do that, there's nothing wrong with that. You do you. There is nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. That's just not me. I don't feel like that's me being natural as a person. So I'm not going to do it. I'm trying to get better at commenting on Instagram things that I'll mean. And it could be something as simple as I'm looking forward to this track or but I don't go and comment on every single Instagram post. You know why? Because maybe I don't have an opinion on everything. I may like your post because I like the image for whatever reason. It may be you performing at a show. It may be you promoting a new song. It may be just you on a night out. Oh yeah, I like the outfit. Or I like the fact that you're doing well for yourself. Or yeah, I like the fact that you're making money by doing shows. But maybe I don't have a comment further than that, so I won't comment.
Yeah, it's just that.
And that's just for me personally. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying everybody else has to be the same. That's just what I'm like.
If everyone is just being themselves, there will be like less and less problems there are right now. Because there are a lot of followers, a lot of sheep, and not many wolves. That's what I think.
No, massively. I think that people are doing things just because others are. I think we're going for an age where, I think we're going for an age where people are sheep. And there's not enough leaders. There's not enough people that are really and truly there for each other. But I'm not going to be mad at it. Because who am I to say what the world should be like? Who am I to say this is how people should act? No, I'm going to act how I naturally am. And I'm going to push the things that I want to push. And if people take that as inspiration, if people see that as being a role model, whatever it may be, then so be it. Then you feed your energy into other people. I want to spread positive energy. So what am I going to do? I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be myself. I'll happily sit here and say, there's times where I'm feeling shit, going through tough times. I'll say it right now. Yeah, I'm going through a little bit of a shit stage in my life right now. But the reason I'm not going to focus on that too much is because I'm trying to spread the positivity. Now, that's not to be me to be fake. No. If I'm not feeling in a positive mood, I'm not going to be posting shit. That's me. Yeah. There'll be times where I'll ghost. You won't be able to get a hold of me for a couple days. All right, cool. That's fine. Because maybe I'm not in the mood to be all Mr. Positive. But if you do see me on social media being positive or, happy, joking about, that's because that's how I'm feeling at that point in time. And again, it's not to say perfect or anything like that. I'm still, we're all still learning. We're all trying to better yourself, especially as a young man. Like, how old are you?
I'm 17.
There you go. And so, still figuring shit out, as am I. And so,
it's just like, it's a time right now that, like you said, like people are, let's just say, like people are wearing like shoes of Adidas or Puma because Tim Westwood wears them type of shoes, or like Stormzy wears them type of shoes, like, and they lose their self in that whole cycle or circle of I need to wear this and then I can be cooler, and then when I'm cooler I can get this, and do you know what I mean? And it's like a cycle that never stops. And there are people that get out of that cycle and they really start to clock that, why didn't I do that before? And it's been like with a lot of people. Like I can say myself, there was a time before that I used to be like that. I used to be a sheep. I used to follow like this football player because he wears Nikes, and I need to have that shoe. It's like that shoe because I can shoot better than. It was the whole hypocrisy and the whole like mental game that they're playing because like they want to sell it. And it's just like, if you start to understand that you can be yourself, because that is the time right now. Now is the time to be yourself because everyone and everything can be accepted right now. And if you want to be yourself and do your thing, you will be like, I can guarantee you can be like, let's just say five times more happier than you could be when you were following others. And it's just like, when you're yourself, you are the most beautiful and the most perfect version of it. Like, no one can be you as yourself. Do you know what I mean? And people need to understand that that's beautiful. That's the most beautiful thing that is on this planet, being yourself.
100%. I say the coolest thing to be is coolest thing to be is yourself. The fact that you are so originally you to the point where people now copy you, the people now follow you, the people do what you do. And again, that's just sharing your energy. You put all of your energy into yourself and what you genuinely like. There's nothing wrong with being inspired or influenced by other things. For example, I'm not going to originally be me and all of a sudden in 10 years time still be making music that's following the current sound. I'm not going to be creating clothes myself that are so originally unique that no one else has ever seen before. No, I'm influenced by people. Like, as much as I try and stick to my own original style with my music, of course I'm influenced. I can't sit here and say that Skepta hasn't influenced my sound in music. Am I copying Skepta? No, and I hope it doesn't seem that way. But I'd be lying if I said that Skepta has never had an influence on me. Of course not. It's okay to be influenced and inspired by other people, but as long as you are not trying to copy them.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like, how can you start something or do something if you're not really inspired by something to do? Let's just say 10 times out of 10, you are doing something because you are inspired to do it. And even if you're not inspired, it's not gonna last long. Like, I know people that are doing music for money, and I know people that are doing music for passion, and I've really started to know that the people that do it for money, I know that they're not gonna stick around for long, because I know that they are gonna be disappointing, and all the stuff that is gonna come around or be around that whole thing that you're doing it for money. Because let's be honest, cool, we can put on Spotify and we can put on Apple Music, but we ain't gonna get fucking a million streams, or do you know what I mean? So it's not a reliable thing to do it for the money right now. And that's what I said to artists from around here. I said to them, yo, if you want to do this music thing, do it for passion, because it's gonna pay off in the end. It's gonna pay off in the end if you want to really do it for passion and do it for yourself. Because at the end of the day, how are you gonna make music if you don't even enjoy it yourself? There are artists that make music that they don't enjoy, but the fans enjoy it. And that's with the whole label thing, because they told them you need to, not all the labels, but there were labels that tell you you need to make this type of music because the fans love it, and they really start to command you need to do this, you need to do this, and then you're not yourself anymore. We're going back to being yourself. Now, if you're making music, firstly make it for yourself, because I want to make tunes here that I can bang in the whip. Do you know what I mean? So I want to make tunes that I can say, there you go, that's my song, I made it and I love it.
Oh, of course. Make music that you want to listen to.
Yeah,
that's it. That is how I would put it in one sentence. Make music that you would listen to yourself. I listen to my own music, not all the time, but I get gassed over my own music. Yeah, I do. You know why? Because I enjoy it.
It's just a whole process of that's one of the big reasons that I love music. Just your mind, something that is in your mind, process the whole process, putting it onto paper or on your phone, or the lyrics or the music, and you're putting it into materialistic stuff. And that's just the process of that is just it's mad, and I love it.
Yeah, man. I hear it 100%. We're gonna wrap it up in a moment. So is there anything that you want to plug yourself? Is there anything that you want to let the people know about that you've got coming up?
I got an EP coming
What's it
soon.
Paralyzed. Okay, we got a release date or just coming soon?
Yeah, coming soon.
Okay, coming soon.
And for sure, just listen to Back in the Day, in it, featuring with my G.
The man yourself, the boy yourself. Yeah, no, that'll be the link in the description. Mine and Grizmo's track Back in the Day. And it won't be the first. I'm sure at some point in the future it will be good to do another tune and kind of then compare and look back and see how things have progressed. But yeah, man, I keep doing your thing. Honestly, start building something. And again, I follow all the things that you've said. You've preached. Now just practice everything you preach, bro.
Yeah.
100%, man. All right, thank you for coming by, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having